What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel with your host that does the absolute most, Spiritual Intellectual 777, here once again, coming at you guys from the House of Greatness. And in today's video, we are going to talk about alpha males and a male personality traits 101 series. So basically, I want to give you some background reference to who alpha males are. And alpha males are basically known as the dominant leaders of the group. And you know, alpha males and sigma males are very similar in that aspect, but like I mentioned in my previous video in this series, that sigma males can pretty much shift from group to group, whereas alpha males are pretty much just like dominant in one particular group, and that is it. You know, and also another fun fact about alpha males is that they usually are in tip-top shape and they're physically fit. You know, they take real good care of themselves and they take pride in their appearance. You know, and another thing is that, you know, alpha males and sigma males are very dominant personalities in that, you know, they're successful romantically, socially, you know, business-wise and financially, you know. So alphas and sigmas tend to be, you know, pretty much the they pretty much tend to be like heads and tails on the same coin, right? You know, alpha males and sigma males are like very, very, very similar, but there are distinct differences. And if you want to know more in-depth information about sigma males, the link to that video is in the description below for you guys to go check out. And I also have links to all the articles to where I've done research on this particular topic of alpha males. Plus, I've used the general knowledge from my head. And the links to all of those articles are in the description below for you guys to go check out on your own time if you're pretty much skeptical of what I'm saying in this video is true or not. So you can pretty much just go look for yourself. So let's get into the traits. All right, so the first trait of alpha males is that they are leaders, right? I mean, if you are an alpha male or you say that you are an alpha male, then you pretty much are saying that you are a leader of some sort, right? Because one thing that alphas have in common is that, you know, they are not afraid to lead from the front. You know, they pretty much, you know, have that confidence and security in themselves to be able to lead from the front. And unlike, you know, the average leader, to where people are very skeptical and questioning of that leader, people actually follow the alpha males because the alpha males know what they are doing, and they just have this overall aura of, you know, confidence and competence all at the same time, right? So, you know, if you aspire to be an alpha male, then know that you are going to have to be a leader, because everybody's going to be looking up to you to handle business. All right, so moving on to the next trait. So the second distinguishing trait of all alpha males is that they have a strong sense of self, right? And they have developed this sense of self through years and years of personal development and spiritual work. You know, alpha males have actually taken the time, just like the sigma males, to get to know themselves on that deep of a level. And in that time, they started, you know, working on their self-confidence and, you know, not hesitating to go towards their vision. You know what I'm saying? And alpha males do not let anybody, and I mean nobody, and this includes family and their significant other, from, you know, going about their mission, right? And it's not like alpha males don't love their family or their significant other or anybody else. They are very compassionate people, despite, you know, all the stereotypes and the perceptions that have been put upon alpha males. It's just that they are very secure in their self, and they're not going to compromise their authenticity to please anybody, just like the sigma males. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, if you really want to be an alpha male, you know, if you're a beta male or below, then you're going to have to really, really hone in on your sense of self. You're going to really have to take some time to get away from the crowd and go into deep, deep hermit mode and get to know what you want and what it is that is very important to you. And if you want more in-depth information on how to do that, I have a link to the recent podcast episode that I released yesterday, which is in the description below. And the title of that episode is The Difference Between What's Important and Urgent. So I highly recommend you go listen to that podcast episode, because I really dive in deep about the difference between what's important and what's urgent. And I've done a lot of research on that topic. So go check it out. So all in all, you have to know yourself on a deep, intimate level so that you can start attracting everything that you want, and you can start being in alignment with who you are as a man. All right? So moving on to the next trait. So the third trait of an alpha male is that he is extremely confident, right? And just like I talked about in the last 2 points, that confidence is a result of them knowing themselves on a deeper level and them just basically knowing what they stand for, right? Because you can't be confident in yourself if you don't know who you are and what you stand for. And this is what makes them stand out amongst most males who are very insecure in themselves. They don't really know what they want. They're very wishy-washy and they're very anxiety-ridden. But not the case with the alpha male, because the alpha male doesn't have any anxiety-ridden. He's not anxiety-ridden because, first of all, he does not give a damn about other people's opinions. And he doesn't care if people, perceive him as an a-hole and arrogant, because he chooses to go after what he wants instead of catering to the needs of everybody else. So alpha males, tend to prioritize, the activities in quadrant number 2. And again, like I said, if you want more in-depth information on, what I'm talking about, the link to my recent podcast episode is in the description below, and it'll make sense to you once you listen to that episode, because I am going to be talking all of those aspects from my podcast episode into this video, but not a whole bunch, because I want you to go listen to that podcast episode, so to speak. So anyways, because they have this radiating confidence from within, it tends to spill without. And because of that, they tend to become seductive to the ladies, to their colleagues, to their co-workers, etc., etc., etc. Simply because, they have this energy that I'm confident in myself and I don't need your approval, which paradoxically makes them more attractive than the average person. And so this is a pro tip for all the men. Ladies love a man who is very confident and secure within himself. So the more confident and secure you are as a man, the more attractive you become to the ladies. All right. Moving on to the next point. All right. So another distinguishing aspect of the alpha male personality is that he is very chivalrous, right? And basically the term chivalrous comes from the word chivalry, which here's a screenshot of the definition, which basically means that they are exhibiting courteous behavior, especially that towards a woman. So in other words, alpha males, know how to treat a lady, right? And so and to further unpack, the term chivalrous, from the medieval times, it's basically the code of chivalry was a moral system which went beyond the rules of combat and introduced the concept of chivalrous conduct, aka, treating the ladies right and holding the door for her, etc., etc., etc. Qualities idealized by the medieval knights, such as bravery, 1, courtesy, 2, honor, and great gallantry towards women. The codes of chivalry also incorporated the notion of courtly love. So basically, the individual who wrote this, and I have a link, and I got this straight from an article, that's about the code of chivalry, which is in the description below for you guys to go read on your own time. Very short article and well worth the read. A man basically not only has to fight and defend, what is his, but he has to also know how to court a woman. And alpha males are they are masters of being gentlemen, right? And a prime example of this is Christian Grey from the 50 Shades series. And even though he has like some real flaws and stuff like that, he was very chivalrous towards Anastasia Steele, like getting her, gifts, holding the door for her, professing his love to her. And this is all traits of a chivalrous man. He courts his lady proudly. He shows her off to the world, and he tells the world that he's very proud to be with whatever particular woman that he's with, and he's not ashamed. And he'll do whatever he can to protect the woman and to earn and keep her trust. And he's not going to ever betray it. So hear me when I say this. If you want to embody more of an alpha male type of role, or even a sigma male, if you want to take it that a step further than the alpha, you're going to have to court your woman. It's just all there is to it. Because ladies like a man who not only takes charge, but also courts her. Remember that. All right? Moving on to the next point. Another distinguishing trait of the alpha male is that he doesn't run in the face of conflict, right? Alpha males, face more adversity than the average Joe ever will. But interestingly enough, they don't cower down. They don't cower or run away from it. And they always take care of business every freaking time. They are bosses. They're the boss men who go around and they handle conflict, and make it look easy, essentially. Even though, they may have a little bit of anxiety here and there, and they may have some self-doubt, they don't let it destroy their sense of self, and they can usually bounce back like this in the face of a conflict or when things do not go their way. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to face conflict head on if you have any hopes of being an alpha male. And so this also means that they aren't yes men or people pleasers. And like I said, alpha males are going to do whatever it is that feels right to them, right? They're going to do what they want to do, and they have no problem saying no to people when they don't want to do something. And also another thing, and it is very important, is that alpha males can handle themselves in a fight. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna roll you a clip from Bad Boys 2, which is like a real humorous example of this.
Nigga, who that is,
It's
dog?
Reggie!
Who the fuck is Reggie?
Came to take Megan out.
What you want, nigga?
I'm here to take his daughter out.
What's your name?
Reggie,
Well, no, I heard the motherfucker say your name, Reggie. You taking Megan out?
Yes, sir.
How old is you?
15.
Shit, nigga, you at least 30.
This is
Can
Mike.
you fight?
Yeah.
You can fight. Oh, you motherfucker, you can't fight. Look at
Mike,
you. Look.
Mike.
No, I want to know if the
Fight.
nigga. I
Come
want
on.
somebody gonna
This
take
is
my
a
niece
dog.
out. I want to
This is
know
a
if the nigga
dog
can
fight.
fight. Somebody might
Okay.
come say something.
Hey.
The nigga can't fight. She can't go.
I'm telling you, like that scene was hilarious, but it had a lot of truth to it though. Like if you really analyze that scene, you would know that, he was being tested to see if he would stand his ground, in case other men would try to step to him and take what is his. You know what I'm saying? So moving on to the next point. Another distinguishing trait of the alpha male is that they are masters of their craft. And you know what I said about them being leaders, right? Well, they can't necessarily be leaders if they haven't mastered anything. It's going to be pretty hard to convince people to follow you, much less listen to you, unless you have mastered your craft. And when you master your craft, that tells people that you're a person that's worth following and worth listening to. So, you know, pick at least one craft that you love and pour in all your time and energy into mastering that one particular craft so that you can start building credibility around your name. All right, on to the next point. All right, so another trait that alpha males have is that they are independent, meaning that they're not just independent in the sense that they can take care of themselves, you know, because obviously, like, in order for alpha males to be alpha males, they have to be able to lead, and in order for them to lead, they have to be able to take care of themselves, because otherwise they'll be no good to anybody else, right? You know, they don't rely on no welfare checks, they don't rely on their parents to take care of them, you know, they don't beg on the street corner for money. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much can take care of themselves, right? And they also take care of themselves in the aspect of that they don't need anybody to validate their existence, and they're very comfortable and secure within themselves. And alpha males tend to more than likely be, you know, business owners and entrepreneurs, or at the very least, leaders of the company that they work for. And so they are able to take care of themselves and other people on all fronts. And because they have this strong sense of self-reliance and independence, you know, that also makes them attractive and seductive to the opposite sex and to the other people that I mentioned in the confident point, so to speak. And with that being said, you know, they don't make their woman the center of their world, right? And it doesn't mean that he doesn't value her and love her with all his heart, because obviously he does. He's more so focused on his purpose than he is on his woman. And because he's focused on his purpose, he's able to serve his woman more, and that in turn makes her fall in love with him even more. He still makes time to spend with her and courts her and provides, protects, and professes to her. He still does all those things right. It's just that he's not relying on the woman to validate him and constantly tell him, like, you know, honey, I love you so much. You know, you're so handsome. You're so pretty. I just love you so much. And you are incredible. And don't get me wrong, alpha males do get giddy when their woman tells them that. You know, they start doing a little gigglings and whatnot. But they have done a lot of healing work on themselves to the point where they don't need that, because basically the woman's the icing on the cake, but not the cake itself, if you catch my drift. All right, on to the next point. All right, guys, so the very last point that I want to touch on in this video before I wrap it up is that alpha males are dominant, right? I mean, it's pretty much impossible to be an alpha male and be a leader and to be a boss in life if you don't dominate. You know, you have to be able to do that. And, you know, alpha males understand this and understand this already. And so, you know, one of the ways that they're dominant is that they assert themselves, you know, without backing down from the challenge, right? Remember what I said about them being confident and secure in themselves and being men of value. They know what's important to them, and they will fight to the death to defend their values in the face of opposition, right? You know, and they're not going to shy away from you at all, guys. You know, one of the primary examples that I want to use is Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that dude was in the NBA, he was a freaking beast. He didn't back down from nobody. Hell, there was even an instance where him and Shaq got into a fist fight. And Shaq is like 7'1" or 7'2", and Kobe Bryant's 6'6". But the fact of the matter is, Kobe didn't back down from nobody. Sorry about that, guys. My battery just died all of a sudden. This is the second week in a row that's happened. But anyways, as I was saying, like, Kobe didn't back down from anybody. Hell, even when he was a rookie in the NBA, he didn't back down from Michael Jordan, right? And Michael Jordan is one of the best basketball players of all time. And Kobe being a rookie, he did not back down from Michael Jordan at all. You know, in fact, Michael Jordan is a prime example of an alpha male as well. Cause like when Jordan was in his prime in the NBA, even afterwards, he didn't back down from a challenge. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let out adversity pull him down in any type of way, because Jordan understood that in order for him to be, you know, the best player in the world, he not only had to work on his game, he also had to work on himself and really transform himself from a person who was like, you know, average to at the top of his game. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I am going to wrap up this video right now, guys. I thank you guys for taking time out of your day to come check out this video and watching my other videos, you know. And if you didn't know, I have an online merchandise store to where I sell t-shirts and hoodies and etc, 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 and the link to that is in the description below for you guys to go cop your merch if you support me and the 8 Mil Productions brand. Also, if you're brand spanking new to this channel, I would like to welcome you in with open arms. And if you like the content that you've seen thus far, make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure to hit that bell right next to it so you get notified every time I upload a video on this YouTube channel. And I upload videos every single Friday, okay? And make sure to smash the hell out of that like button and make sure to timestamp in the comment section what your favorite part of the video was, or write down which point really spoke to you the most and which point that you would like to cultivate the most in your life if you are a man watching this. All right? And make sure to go ahead and share this video on any and all of your social media platforms so we can get the word out about this video and help other males out there transform themselves from being unconfident men to being confident men. And as always, peace in and out with the highest vibes, and I'll see you guys next Friday.